The mysterious red wolf. Here's my really cool selfie stick that my Insta360 will be mounted on. I've got a mount back here. This is every biker's best friend, a billion zip ties. The Insta360 uses, let me turn that down. The Insta360 hardware uses GoPro mounts, which is awesome because I already had a GoPro. But when it's up here in the air, then the camera is probably about this tall. I don't know if you guys can see that. The camera's probably about this tall, probably about that wide, and it's got a little bit of weight to it, not too heavy. With all that wind going right over, got a fairing, and it pushes the wind right over, and it hits that camera, and it wants to push this back. Even if with me tightening this down as hard as I can, it'll never be able to hold. So I've got this flap right here from my Corbin seat. It covers a hole where I can mount a backrest right here, which I don't use. So I can hold this flap up and then zip tie this to the flap. The flap's sewed into the seat and the seat's mounted to the frame of the bike, so it's not going anywhere. I haven't looked at any comments yet, but did anybody else get any storms? We got a couple crazy ones that blew through. I got a bunch of hail. And yard flooded for a little bit. But it was weird because it only rained for like a few hours, and then it was clear skies, blue. Took Rowan outside for a little while. I ran to the store, and then as I got home, the bottom fell out again, and then it cleared out. And it was like kind of cloudy, but it wasn't raining. The sun even came out for a little while. And then a massive storm blew through that only lasted like 8 minutes or something crazy like that. We lost power. I had to unplug my computer. I thought something crazy was about to happen. And like the wind was blowing really bad. The light outside was green. My wife basically had a panic attack. But it was really, really crazy. And then we got a bunch of hail. Kind of like, I don't know if you guys follow Ocean on Twitter, but he posted enough hail to like fill up several drinks of ice. And that's about how much we had on like my back porch and stuff. Oh, my beard looks awesome. Thank you. Yeah, my camera, I've got a crazy mount system. I'll post a picture of it in the hold, which I'm sure that's where most of you got the link from. But it's a RAM mount system, and it's got one crazy piece that I got off Amazon, and then 2 regular arm pieces, and then I got a RAM mount for the GoPro. And the GoPro is sitting behind my mirror and up above it just a little bit. You can actually see the mirror right here where that little red light is flashing. I may actually raise that up just a hair, I'm not sure. I want to use the GoPro because I assume it looks better than my phone camera does, but I'm not sure if it's worth it or not because the GoPro batteries don't last nearly as long. They only last about 45 minutes to an hour. And then there's a big delay, which I'm not used to because on YouTube Live through my phone, it just goes because the GoPro has to connect to the phone and then to the internet, whereas the phone just does it all and then connects to the internet. So I don't know how I want to play it. I really want to use the GoPro because, I mean, it's fucking GoPro. I've had it forever. I bought it back when I wanted to get into YouTubing. Letitia, I want to say your name is. I might be mispronouncing that. I apologize if I am. Yeah, my wife has recently started riding with me. We finally are able to like go on a ride together. I've been just taking her around town to get her used to it, and she says she really enjoys it. I've never been on the back of a bike. I've always just been on the bike. So I'm sure it's a completely different experience for passengers, but I want to take her on more rides. I like going and riding with her. It's a really special experience for us to bond. But yeah, I've got a 2-hour ride into the mountains. Funny enough, I'm going to go see Bjorn. He's got a trunk that I'm going to be putting back here, and so I want to ride up there. He forged a special mounting bracket for me. I actually went up there back in like November, and we were going to get it put on then, but we weren't able to, and then my bike ended up in the shop for like 3 months. It was really crazy. And then I just haven't had time to get back up there, but since I'm going to night shift soon, I want to go ahead and get it taken care of now before my schedule's so crazy I won't be able to. So yeah. But it'll be cool to go see Bjorn, hang out with him for a little while, get that trunk put on my bike, have a luggage rack finally, be able to tie stuff down to my bike better, and have more space, like store stuff. I'm actually in the works of getting a really cool helmet, and I want to be able to have a place to store it if I'm not using it. I'm not gonna spoil too much about it because I want the reveal to be pretty cool, but the helmet's supposed to be really, really cool. So it's actually funny, Letitia, my camera doesn't have a battery in it right now. I've got a power pack. I've got a really big battery pack. It's got 3 USB ports on it, and I've got a cord running to it right now. I didn't think it would run by itself. I've also got 3 GoPro batteries. I've got like 5, but I've got 3 charging right now for tomorrow. I thought that I would have to keep a battery in the GoPro and then just like charge it to keep the battery charged. But I don't have a battery in it right now, and I went to go turn it on, and it turned on. I was like, all right, well, let's see how far we can go with this. And it's live right now, so appears to not really be a problem. My other issue that I actually need to go try right now is I need to see if my headset system works, because if it doesn't, I won't be able to use my GoPro. I've got a way to hook it up to the GoPro, but I don't know. If you guys want to hang tight for a minute, I'm gonna maybe play with that for a minute. But I don't want to like cancel the stream and then try to start another one. It takes me several minutes to start a stream. So if you guys will just chill and talk amongst yourselves, I will be right back. And I appreciate you guys like hanging out and working with me through this, because there's really no way for me to test this without just doing it and putting myself out there. So I'll be right back. Yes, Juve, I want to say your name is, Juv. Yeah, I'm at 2,200 hours, almost 2,300. So, I need about 1,700 more hours watched, and then I will be monetized. I'm about to put this battery in. It's got a little bit of juice in it. Yeah, I've got 1,000 subscribers. I've just got 2,290 something hours watched, and it has to be 4,000 hours. It's a really high window. And I guess I just assumed that like people will I jumped in subs way faster than I was producing content. You know, I've got I'm gonna hit 4,000 probably by the end of the month. But my content, I've only got about, I don't know, a couple hours worth of content out there. I've got a couple videos that are longer, but it would take. I've got a bunch of subscribers that haven't watched all of my content. They watched like one video and then they subbed. And if everybody would watch all of my videos, then I would hit 4,000 no problem. But yeah, I'm getting distracted. I'm gonna stick this battery in. It very well may kill my camera. I'm not sure. So if that happens, I'll get the stream started back up in a minute. So just like hang tight and keep an eye on my channel. Hey, all right, it's unplugged. Now you plug in this and see what it does. All right, tell me, does this sound different? All right, tell me, does this sound different? It does not sound different. That's fucking disappointing. All right, tell me, does this sound different? Tell me this. Can you hear this? Tell me this. Can you hear this? Nope. Alright, I can't hear it. So that means the camera is not picking up this mic, and that's really fucking frustrating. Damn, I'm gonna have to use my phone. I cannot use the GoPro and do what I want to do. I can No. I won't be able to use the GoPro tomorrow. I'll have to use my phone, which means I'll have to be putting my phone in front of me. I kind of wanted the GoPro off to the side so that you could, like, see what was behind me. Because, like, with that mount, I've seen some other... I actually saw this really awesome lady biker. She's a Harley rider in Atlanta. She rides with a group that I'm actually really good friends with called the Black Sabbath Nation. It's a group of all black bikers, and they are really fucking cool. Which they're not like all black, but they started as an all black biker club, and now they let anybody in who's, you know, good. They let good people in now. But I'm friends with him. I actually helped run his Discord. Anyways, I won't get into all that. So, yeah. I guess I need to disconnect my GoPro and put my phone back in. But my whole point was I wanted the GoPro off to the side so that y'all could see it, because I'm going to be facing the road like this. And so y'all would see me talking, and that's cool. But even cooler, you would be able to see over my shoulder. I am going to be going down the highway a whole lot, but the view behind me is pretty cool too. As I go into the mountains, like I'll end up in the mountains. Some of my favorite stuff, and that's why I want to take my 360 camera. I got an eyelash in my eye. Take my 360 camera up there and get some really cool footage, like I did over the summer last summer. Wyatt Coverdale, have I ever questioned Odin's knowledge before? Absolutely. Odin tried reaching out to me several times when I, like, even as recently as 2017, 2018, and I was kind of putting him off. I was like, you know, how? It kind of became like a trust thing, like, you know, how do I know I can trust you and all that, and Odin kind of like, Odin had to prove himself to me just like I had to prove myself to Odin. And that's part of like consent in general in paganism, is that, yeah, they're gods, but they're not perfect, and some of them can lie. We have evidence of them lying. Some of them can be mean and cruel. Odin is known for having an agenda, a personal agenda. He's a psychochomp. So, you know, you just gotta, like, be aware of that. Like, Odin is extremely wise, and, like, I go through the Havamal, and I do believe that the Havamal is Odin's wisdom. It may not be, you know, I don't take it as, like, divine words like Christians think the Bible is, but I do believe that the Havamal is to be, like, the wise words of Odin. Yeah, like, Odin's not, like, super intelligent, because, like, even gods like Freya have, you know, and, like, even Loki's outsmarted Odin several times, and, you know, has been punished for it. So you can't say that Odin's, like, the smartest god ever. So, yeah, I agree. But Odin wants us to push ourselves. Like, in my opinion, Odin is a god of, like, pushing yourself, pushing the limits. Iron sharpens steel big time, and so you have to, like, grind that sword hard to make it really, really sharp. You know, we are forged in the fires of life, and Odin will throw fires at you constantly. So it's just something to be aware of. But in in my relationship with Odin, he's very kind, very gentle. And it might be because I set that boundary to begin with. Like I know other people have said that Odin has been really rough with them. And I've got a an acquaintance friend who hates Odin and would like to kill him if he got the chance because of the trials that he thinks Odin has put on his life. So, everybody's got a different opinion, and that's fine. It's not an area that I try to disagree in. You're not gonna I know that he wants to kill Odin. I've hailed Odin. It doesn't insult me that he's mad at Odin. He's had a personal experience, and that's his personal experience, and I can't fault him for it. Odin shows me a way of life. That really isn't what I'm looking for. I'm looking for understanding how to tame nature and find limitations to destroy them. Oh, destroy your limitations. Okay. Happiness. I gave up happiness for wisdom 4 years ago. Man, don't give up your own happiness just for the pursuit of wisdom. Live your life and be happy, and that's wisdom, in my opinion, is how to make it through life and stay happy doing it. That's one of life's greatest challenges in general, is find a fulfilling path while also, find a fulfilling path for success and whatnot, but also stay in a place mentally where you can say that you're enjoying yourself along the way. Izzy, I don't think I've seen any signs from the gods yet. Am I still okay to practice heathenry? Absolutely. I've mentioned this several times. I've got a really close friend who I've reached out to several times to help me understand things. He's helped me with scripts. I've sent him scripts that I've written, and Ocean has as well. And this guy is super intelligent, dedicated, hardcore polytheist, and he hasn't really received any big signs or any hardcore communication with the gods. And he's someone that I look up to. So that should tell you that you are more than okay to practice. There is no, you start practicing and then maybe you will receive a sign. And it may be a sign. It may take you years to realize it's a sign. I was receiving signs as a child and I didn't realize it until I was in my, early 20s. I was 21. Let's see. How would you go about reaching out to Odin for the first time to test the waters with that relationship? So, my case was a little bit different. I was receiving communication often. I had a few dreams that were directly him speaking to me and telling me to do things, which isn't something I like to talk about in great detail because I don't want to come off as if I'm special, that Odin was talking to me in a dream. I'm not. Several people have had this experience. No one is special for receiving divine communication through dreams. It's something that happens often. So anybody who tries to wave that in front of you, they're not special. I'm not special, and I will never claim to be. But just make offerings. I could maybe draw a picture of Odin or buy a statue of Odin. I went ahead and bought several. I've actually got my altar right here. It's not on my bike right now. It needs to be fixed. But this is my bike altar. And I want to say Odin is right here. So this is my Odin on my altar. And then I've got the one upstairs on the hearth that you guys see in videos. And then I've got another set that nobody's seen. So make an offering to an idol, a statue, and or you don't even have to have an idol or representation of Odin. Just make an offering, offer drink or food to Odin and reach out and just say, hey, I'm willing to engage in a gifting cycle with you as long as you respect these boundaries, and kind of lay those boundaries out to where you want them to be, and uh, you know, keep yourself safe always when interacting with any deity. But yeah, you are your own person, and open yourself up to the idea of it, and you'll never know what happens. I want to scoot up and read some of this that I've missed. Wyatt said, I don't think happiness is even a human emotion when you reach a certain point of wisdom. How can you be happy when you feel as though you aren't even human anymore? Philosophy, science, magic can really get to your head. Man, I'm just going to be really honest. Like, don't get so caught up in the philosophy, science, and magic aspect that you start to lose yourself. And this goes for everybody because we really can't get caught up in it. It's like, what are we even doing? But we are human. We are mortal. We have an amazing life ahead of us if afterlives are real, and I believe that they are personally. Um, so, you need to take care of what you've got now because this is all that you've got here now. When we die, things may or may not change, as in, afterlife aspect. We've got the multi-part soul. You could change as a person, and the person you are today will cease to exist. There's no question about that. Now, what comes after, we don't actually know. We've got a bunch of, ideas based on lore, and then it could very easily all just be black. It could be nothing, just like it was before we were born. We don't remember. That could very easily be what it is. We don't actually know. But I'm not worried about what comes after. I'm worried about what I can do right now. And what I'm doing right now is trying to help people like you guys, and like in the Discord and just on YouTube in general. So, it's not something that you need to lose yourself in to the point that it's hurting you now, even if it is for something future gained. You need to take care of yourself, all of you. I'm not just picking on Wyatt here. I want you all to be fulfilled and happy, but also build a good relationship with the gods. Thank you, Wolf, for all the help I've gotten from you and Ocean has been so important to me. Absolutely, Izzy, no problem at all. And says that being pagans with those sorts of experiences aren't prophets, and that's important to recognize, especially if you come out of religion. Yeah, absolutely. None of us are prophets. I haven't met or heard of a single pagan who deserves the term prophet or anything of the sort. Like, you can have community leaders, and it's people that you recognize aren't here to take advantage of you, are after your best interest and the best interest of the group as a whole, which I feel like me and Ocean hold those ideals. If I thought that Ocean didn't hold those ideals, I wouldn't work with him. And if Ocean thought that I didn't hold those ideals, he wouldn't work with me. And so that's why we work together, because we're on the same path. And then also we get along really well. We're best friends. He's easily, like, next to my wife, he's like my favorite person on the planet. So that's just kind of like where we're at. Wyatt said, and then I wondered, does happiness matter if your entire goal is to reach powerful wisdom? If anything is a distraction, misery isn't always too bad. Yes, misery is bad. Wyatt, you need to calm down, buddy. It's okay. Odin came through Frigg with me. Yeah, Lucy, that's legit. Like, gods can reach out through other gods, which I think is really cool. Yeah, so that's really cool that you said that. To be able to expand what makes you happy sounds wise to me. Yeah, absolutely, Josie. We're allowed to be wise and happy, I would think. Absolutely. The important thing is to always keep a healthy mind. Yes. The weird thing is that I know Birdwind says, Wolf, you're an awesome man and a great friend and very wise, smart. I thank you and Ocean for everything you've done. Hey, we're trying. We really are. You know, I'm just another dude. I'm just a dude who didn't mind getting in front of a camera one day. I had some extra money and I bought a GoPro and some editing software and I put myself out there. Ocean did the same. Ocean did a lot of the legwork and the groundwork, laying the foundation years ago. But we both recognize, like, he's really good in areas that I'm not. Like, he's the philosophy guy. I've got a good foundation of what I believe. He's got a good foundation of, like, what every aspect of philosophy is, which is crazy. And he's still learning himself. But he doesn't have much left to learn. He's incredibly smart. It often intimidates me. And I've known the guy for years and I hang out with him often. But when it gets to like philosophy level, I'm very much, oh my God, who is this guy? Even though I've like spent a significant portion of my life with him now. Wyatt. Sorry, getting a little deep. Anyway, Odin is an interesting character. Yes, Odin is very interesting. Take care of yourself, Wyatt. You're a good dude, and I don't want to see you get lost like that, you know? A huge thank you to you and Ocean. It's been so beneficial for me. Also, where did you get the statues that show up in the ritual video? So, we actually had a little thing in the hold. I'm not promoting anybody anymore. Until I hear back from the artist, I think the artist accidentally included a symbol that she should not be including in her statues. And so I'm not promoting her until I get clarification on that. It's not a piece of mine, it's a piece she just put up. And so I'm not going to be promoting her right now. Ocean and I both, Ocean actually has these statues right here, these little idols. And he sent them to me and I was like, oh, he's got I want to say I've got Scothy here. Yes. Ocean carries this Scothy around with him everywhere. And he sent me the link and I was like, oh man, I need that. And so I bought all of them. But yeah, so I don't remember the link off. I don't remember the Etsy name off the top of my head, but it's posted somewhere in the channel, in the Discord, I mean. There is always more to learn, and we should never close ourselves off to learning with things. Absolutely. Like, every day I feel like I learn more. And I'm very thankful for that. Like, I'm definitely not the person I was years ago. And it's great to see how, like, even I've grown and how the people around me have grown. Wyatt, if you're talking about swastika, that wasn't it. And the swastika is a historical symbol. When displayed a certain way, it comes, you know, it does mean a symbol of peace and, like, you know, Eastern cultures, but I don't think it's a symbol that needs to be displayed with anything to do with Norse mythology, especially with the stigmatism that comes from Nazis. So I don't agree that it should be used at all. However, that wasn't the symbol that was used. The one that I'm talking about now, it was the Black Sun, the Sonnenrad, which the Sonnenrad is not historical whatsoever. It was a Nazi invented symbol. I actually was in a group video with Ocean, myself, Beofold, Ryan Dennison, and Bjorn, and we went through the historical breakdown of when the Sonnenrad was invented and proved that it was a Nazi invented symbol. Without a doubt, no one can refute that. So, yeah, I don't I don't like seeing anybody use that or promote that symbol whatsoever. Yeah, incessant being, they're symbols that are far too damaged to be used. And I believe that the swastika is absolutely one of them, because, you know, there are Hindus, there are actually Hindus in the Discord that have that symbol as part of their praxis. But unfortunately, you know, it's not something that should be associated with Heathenry whatsoever. Ryan, would a good travel altar include carved runes that represent the gods being worshipped, like carved into the insides of a box of mints? That wouldn't be a bad idea. I would want to maybe, like, instead of like runes, because the runes are just letters. It's hard to associate one rune with one deity, especially with deities being so like multifaceted. You know, Odin is a god of war, but he's also a god of wisdom, but he's also a god of poetry, and he's also a god of, you know, you just go down these lists of all the things Odin has aspects of. So tying one rune to one god seems a little like diminutive to me. What I would do if I were you, if you wanted to incorporate runes, is I would take a set of runes, combine them into a bind rune, and carve that and say, this is my bind rune for Odin. And you could do that with all the gods if you wanted to, or you could just carve images of the god. You know, carve a little stick figure and give him a spear in his hand and know that that's Odin. Carve a stick figure and put a hammer in his hand, and that's Thor. Carve a stick figure and put a cat next to it, and that's Freya. You know, if you really wanted to like give yourself representations of the gods, but be tiny little figures. But yeah, Womkid, I agree. Throw in personal effects. My travel altar, I built this. It's just a piece of wood. I carved down the sides so that it would fit my fairing right. I cut this to right size. I had to like cut it in half and all this other stuff. And then I ordered these hooks off Amazon, and I just drilled them in and super glued the hell out of them so that they won't come apart. But they're clipped because these are all actually necklaces, and I just tied the rope up so that they have a little loop. But if I were to cut that, I've got zip ties keeping them in place. If I were to cut that zip tie, the leather would unravel and it would be a necklace that I could wear, because that's what they're sold as, is necklaces. And then in the centerpiece, I've got the Vegvisir so that I never get lost. It's the Icelandic compass. Yeah, Joseph, you know, that's fair. I'm not going to fault you for that at all. Yeah, choosing not to use it. I understand that, you know. We actually had a thing come up in the Discord. I won't name any names, but there was a practicing Buddhist who was an eclectic Norse pagan, and he had his Hindu swastika that he used for peace and enlightenment. He had that, and he hung his heathen hammer from it. And we were all like, I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. Let's not. Hey, Dino Rider. Everybody in the chat, Dino Rider is a biker friend from that Discord I was talking to you guys about. He's a YouTuber as well, and he puts out educational content for new and, you know, moderate and even experienced riders. So Dino's a good dude, and glad to see him here. We're talking about religion, buddy, so you may not see a whole lot. I was testing, for those of you who just joined and don't know why I'm sitting in my garage, I was testing my cameras to see, because I'm going on a ride tomorrow. I'm headed up into the mountains, and I wanted to live stream while I rode. But I was going to use my GoPro as my camera, but it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do that. And so now I'm just at the point where I'm just kind of like talking to you guys because you're all here now, and I would hate to just end the stream, but I'm not going to be able to use my GoPro. And I can't switch over to my phone because it will, it'll cut the stream off. And then I'll have to start a new one. Yeah, Womcat Bind Runes, a collection of runes. I love bind runes. They're like my main source of magical practice. I don't really do a whole lot else in terms of magic, but the runes, rune divination, and creating bind runes is how I practice heathen magic, as you were. Yeah, Dinah. We're all a different variation of pagan. Most people in the chat are Norse pagan. But that's like the focus of my channel, and I just happen to also be a biker, and I love biker life, and I love teaching people about biker life and whatnot when I can. But also my main focus is like religion. Wyatt, hey Wolf, how often do you work with Goldfistir? So, oh, you mean Golder. Or that's what you are meaning. I've never seen it be typed out like that. I've always just seen it be Golder. Magic always fascinates me. I just get the Sorcerer's Creed 2 days ago. It's rather gory. Is that red book, the Sorcerer's Creed? I showed that book to a couple people who are extremely knowledgeable in history and Icelandic magic, and they rolled their eyes at that book because I thought it was interesting as well. Okay, I haven't seen it be typed out that way, but I get what you're meaning, Wyatt. Yeah, I found that book probably about 4 years ago, I want to say. It started being recommended to me on Facebook, and I showed it to a handful of people, and they all thought it was bullshit. So if you like it, that's cool, but I'm probably gonna stay away from it personally. Staves are cool though. I think staves are extremely personal. I feel like you can't really go wrong. There are historical staves, but they definitely weren't like Viking Age. They came hundreds of years later. So, like, my focus is, Norse religion centered around the Viking era and maybe a little bit after. But by the time staves started being used, now, yeah, I use a stave, the Vigvisir. It's not Viking Age. But that's probably about as far as I go. Is Vigvisir and Helm of All, both are magical staves. Yeah, I mean, Wyatt, it's whatever power you give to it, and that's kind of the way all of this stuff works. It's the intention and the power that you give to it. That's where all meanings get their power. It's the same as like Mjolnir. Mjolnir only gets its power because we ascribe meaning to it, and we all agree that it has power. So I agree. Yeah, Dinah. So like Thor, Odin, Freya, Frigg, Skathi, Hel, Balder. I'm trying to think of everybody that's on my altar. Tyr. How could I forget? But yeah, the gods of the Vikings, which is why most people get into it, is because they like the Vikings. Gosh, there's 38 of you, 37 of you, and I'm just sitting here on my my bike just bullshitting. Would you guys mind if I ended the stream? Been going for an hour. If I ended the stream and went and got my helmet and mounted my phone up and we continued this while I work on some other things on my bike for the ride tomorrow? Because it is almost midnight and I don't have to wake up super early tomorrow, but I definitely don't want to be up all night. So I can restart this stream right back up and we can continue to chill and chat. But I have to go upstairs and grab a few things. Yeah, I'll be right back and I'll start the stream back up in just a minute. Let's see if I can figure out how to end this.